Okay, Fambulem. My name is Prince Emil Kruma, obviously. And today, now the 8th, is Wednesday, the 8th of October, 2025. The time now is size exactly 8:07. And we're about to have a conversation. A sort of obviously, I'm giving you guys a background of me, place inside my studio. Obviously, you can see a few things where you not can normally see because I dey use a wide angle intentionally. So again, this is not the TNN podcast, and we get a very special guest. He's been on the platform a couple of times, in the past, but this has been quite a while, like a few years ago, and we're happy for host him again. He's a prominent figure in the Sierra Leonean community in the United Kingdom. But just for academic reasons, if you not be non Sabiam, then he's none other but Mr. Adams Bangura. So Adams, obviously I want to welcome you to the show. You've been on the show before, so the show not a stranger to you. And we do consider you a friend of this platform anyway, and one of the people and we if we do call upon, even on short notice, as long as oversee your other obligation, then you will definitely attend. So we're very very proud of you and happy that you take up this opportunity as well for that we have a conversation.
Thank you. Thank you, Prince. A very good
You're
evening
welcome.
to we listeners. It's always a pleasure for, you know, honor your invitation. I know, say, it's been a while, but of course, like you say, um, in the past, I was a regular, and hopefully I will try to keep up to that.
Thank you so much. And Fambulem, we just want to make sure say we now understand say this conversation is going to be a free flowing conversation with a whole a series of high value interviews with stakeholders them from all backgrounds and all walks of life. When I go see at this point in time, it appear like say APC people in the interview. It's intentional anyway, but there are going to be others, like the PPRC Pro, PRO, and other people them yeah from different backgrounds. So but today we get comrade Adam saying that's what we want to talk about. I can always begin the interview almost like a Piers Morgan style in which I fixated on a particular sort of question where mostly if they talk to a opposition person, the view of the government now in all true way how you will express them, it's not really good. And you are no exception, Mr. Bangura. So I want to pose this to you. As a citizen of your country, how pleased are you or how disappointed are you with the current state of your country governance wise?
Right. Thank you, Prince. And of course, like you said, as a citizen of Sierra Leone, how pleased am I with the current state of affairs now we country Sierra Leone? I will tell you, say, quite honestly, going by the last elections after the 2023 elections, we, of course, as a member of the APC party, I know for a fact it was an election that we won. Way up until now, we still wait for the disaggregated data for that particular result there. But as a result of that, do I, in good conscience, go think say this government then they up to standard when it comes to democracy? I would tell you say no, because the basic tenant way they tell you say we Sierra Leone constitution tell you say it's a legitimacy is derived from the people, right? So if legitimacy is derived from the people, and that legitimacy has been deprived of the people upon which it is derived, then obviously one go one for say, if not because of the power of incumbency, that's the thing say then get all of the guns and every other paraphernalia for keeping the power. I will tell you say not much is there to be right home about. But in terms of one or two strides, Yes, things then they happened where I believe say it could have been better in terms of development. Look at the economy, the state of the economy. That's as to how USAI will be left out. The economy is challenged. Daniel, nobody can say that to me because I am equally affected directly or otherwise because I visit Sierra Leone frequently. I get my family there. I know what it cost me in terms of remittances, in terms of family support. So we are challenged. There is so much more that we could have done if only this government be try for understand say you can stay in power, but you not get control. And control only comes by means of incorporating members of the opposition, albeit the fact say our victory was stolen, but there is also what is known as magnanimity in victory. Either ways, you've stolen an election, be humble enough for things, say, you know what, they will don't cheat them, but let us find a way how we can bring them collaboratively in the interest of we people. But it's that level of arrogance, even with what they don't do. You just see the level of impunity as to as if we don't care anyway. Afterwards, now we're in a power. We can just get on and do what we can. But at the end of the day, who that they bear the brunt of that? Now the people, because now the people they continue for so far. So I go on for tell you say much we're not able to achieve because of the way the governments they continue for carry themselves. As a result of that, I believe say much could have been done for bringing people in together and for help Sierra Leone for grow.
Um, I know I'm bogged down on the issue because I've challenged this many a times with other people. But just in passing, I will just ask you because I think it's necessary and something really serious that we viewer then will be interested in, which is you made a statement on the basis you believe, obviously, that the All People's Congress won the last elections. And when you say so, Mr. Bangura, on whose basis, do we have evidence to that effect? For sure, say that the All People's Congress won the last elections. Mr.
Right,
Bangura,
you
did you
get
hear
me?
me?
No, you line me free just now.
You, yeah, I get you. Okay, but
Right, if
so
you
you don't
talk
hear
on
me the
the if
question.
you
Okay,
no 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 get
at
a
the same.
correct. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so what I've been to say is, during your last answer to the question, what you them because it's not a position where I don't challenge many a times with many a guest. I say, is there evidence to the effect, for substantiation you claim say the All People's Congress win the last elections?
No, no, we did. We won it, my and Prince. So yeah, here is the thing. If you the challenge we say we as the opposition party now waiting at the evidence or the fact we the stand on for say we win, and then I can equally throw the ball say make the government also provide the evidence for say we say then win the election hands down. And the only factor will speak to that now the disaggregated data. And this is the data where they speak to every facet of the electioneering process, where they tell we who station, who polling station by polling station, giving we all of those data as the elections were happening. But if the government of the day,
Okay.
we don't claim say they win, they're not able to get her, then it's so obvious. Yes, we do have ours, albeit say no to all we get. But again, we can also challenge them for say, okay, you say you have won, then you tell we are you win. Prince, are you there? For Atina, you network there.
Yes, now in the play up. So if you do lose me,
Okay,
you just continue
okay,
for do your talking, please. Yeah. In
okay.
network
Not a
really they
problem.
play up as usual.
Not a problem.
Yeah. So anyway, is
Sorry, Prince. I'm not able to get none of your question from there.
fact that the government to the fact that the government and like waiting because you don't outline.
So, Prince, you line terribly bad. Unable to forget absolutely nothing what you to say.
Sorry, but I think we get issues with network. But again, as they say, I think it's obvious, Prince, if the current government say they win this election hands down, then there should be no reason why they're not able for give it the disaggregated data way. We don't they ask for right from the beginning when they announce say that they win. Up until now, we're not able to forget them. So what evidence do they have for sure say that they will genuinely win this election? Other than all they have done is to use the force and the powers of incumbency for making them put themselves in power. But that's notwithstanding. We're a resilient party, if I can use that phrase. That's as much as our confidence has been dented in the process, but we will not give up. Because again, it's what's in a succeed for do they don't pose a challenge to we for see how the APC party go able to come back out of this and then bounce back stronger. So obviously we will continue to educate our people and the powers of incumbency who will not get them. But that's notwithstanding. We're a resilient party, if I can use that phrase. That's as much as our confidence has been dented in the process, but we will not give up. Again, it's what's in a succeed for those that don't pose a challenge to win. For see how the APC party will be able to come back out of this and then bounce back stronger. So obviously we will continue to educate our people and the balance of incumbency. We will not get them this. But that's notwithstanding. We're a resilient party, if I can use that phrase. That's as much as our confidence has been dented in the process, but we will not give up. It's what's in a succeed for the was a challenge to me to see how the ANC party will come back out of this and then bounce back and strong. So Prince, did you agree with me?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear. I get two of you, which means that you use two different gadgets. Let's try for remove one because we'll get some back blast. Let's see whether or not the right one. Adams, did you hear me? Yeah, so I need to hear you. So now the wrong one. Yeah, I'm going right there on mute. On mute. Maybe I'm gonna come to you.
Okay. I don't know how I got here, but I'm here. I'm following my brother.
Adams, did you hear me? Yeah, exactly. So okay, Adams, now the wrong one. So let me just remove this one, add to stage. Adams, did you hear me now? Adams?
Yeah, you Prince.
Okay, good. Okay, so we are back anyway. But just a quick one, Fambulen. So we apologize for the interruption. There's something just not right, but at least we'll forget and right. Baby Haj, it's been like ages. I don't know now magic now you play for Apia, but I should say now Adams I'm going to invite you unintentionally. Yeah, because I not share this. I not share this with you. This is now Adams in link. But all the same, I hope say Adams not get problem with you appearing on in show. And it's so good for you. It's been quite a while. And
I know.
It's been a while. About issues personally. Yeah. But while she on the program, on the program, Baby Haj, you want for say something, before I go back to Adams?
Well, thank you very much. But I've been trying for coming for see if we go get some link. Too many people want to follow the show and give our brother accolade, but we not get a link for follow. This link lead me right to the stage.
Okay, so this now been a link directly for the participant na the show, but I can't share the link with you now. I've been sending to Adams, but not sharing to other people. So people
so in fact, let me share this one. Let me share this one around.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
I
know
go take me
all the way we
exit
then go
now.
able forget and for let me be Aja.
Let me share this around.
But Adams, no mistake, share the bank statement or the link to the account.
Yeah, I go take me exit now. Let me brother take it show. I dey look for the background so we go
No
support
worry.
at
Thank
the
you.
background.
Thank you, sis. Thank you.
All right, yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, baby Aj, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Good to see you
Um,
again, Chris.
yeah, it's good to see you, my dear. Thank you. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Adams, I think the last question I want to ask you, you try for address again. I would like for let you touch on them. What in particularly about this government, because there's a lot of complaint and a lot of issues that you as a stakeholder, and you are huge, that you're not really pleased with.
No, but Prince, there's quite a lot. This is not just about me. Quite honestly, let's even take politics aside. From a diaspora point of view, um, there's a lot we don't go wrong in our country economically. Um, now, let's say if you Prince Kurma, every other month, years ago, you'd be saying if it's maybe £100 or £200 a month for your family back in Sierra Leone, and now it's probably costing you £400 to £500. And this has got nothing to do with politics. It's simply because of how they have managed the economy. So it's nothing to do with politics. So economically, it affects me, it affects you, and every other well-meaning Sierra Leonean. Politics aside, the only people where go likely tell you say things are okay, certain are people always somehow they benefit from the current system. But the average Sierra Leonean will just want to get by, they're struggling. Not too long ago, we end up for buyers close to 1 million or more per bag. Then now suddenly at least you're looking about 800,000 or thereabout for a bag of rice. Is that something worth celebrating when
Not at all.
the average salary take home is about 700 to 1 million leos? Me get people away at the paying a salary and stuff there. I know what it cost. And sometimes you get for even pay more just because you want to make them able forget by. Otherwise, now your own business go spoil. Because if you send money for make them do work for you, then that post you where they handle that amount they cannot even feed their own family. That's just obvious that they will be tempted to get and people make them interfere into you to what you send them for do. And that's what we are facing. So is that something worth celebrating? No. That's these are evidential facts. The facts are out there for all of us to see. If you involve in a project back home, if you be the buy cement, let's say um 70,000 leons, now cement hits over 100,000 leons per bag. Is that something worth celebrating? No, because it's costing you. So forget about what somebody they tell you say, oh, salon did this, salon did that. The question is, how much more of it are you benefiting from? That should be the question for every one of us to answer as a nation.
Absolutely. And yeah, you are absolutely right. But then that takes me to the point now, Mr. Bangura, in which change need for come into place based on which you just articulate, because the same cannot continue. And that brings your party now into the limelight. So we talk about the readiness as we caption the program, the readiness of the All People's Congress in 2028, and then therefore the power of unity because there's so much division within the party. So I wonder you can give me a quick summation as to where the APC now stands, and then we can take them from there and begin to address all the issues then where they happen within the party.
Thank you for that, Prince. Like you said, change need for come, but of course, for us as a democratic party, and by extension, we're a democratic nation, by the way. That's no matter how upset we are, no matter what the challenges are, yeah, we get for make sure say everything what we do, we do by the books and by the laws of the land. We will get rid of this government democratically if and when the next elections are called upon. We will get them out. But again, that by itself come with us as the biggest party in the country as to the resolve way with the show. You ask about unity within, like every other party. We're not perfect. Within the UK, we dey see the challenges that way, even within the Labour Party. Now they're in power. But look at the amount of challenges where it poses right now to them. Because the opposition party, where the conservative, they are almost being extinct by reform because these are hardliners. So, and how did they come about? Propose this challenge. Now they resolve and they are messaging. Politics is all about messaging and ensuring that say it is people focused. So for we at the APC party, we get we internal challenges, make no mistake. But at the end of the day, one thing make you always say, my own interest should no more be more than that of the party's interest. We all for come together, regardless of how we see each other, regardless of how we think, or regardless whose camp or who supports somebody did. The ultimate goal or target for we for be state house. And that's the result. We cannot, and there's no way we will take state house with this way we did so or working in silos that we think say we don't need nobody. No, we need every single person. Because there is one thing making say to people, it's one thing you having a flag bearer race one. That's one thing for me you win a flag bearer. But it's also another thing for make you get state house. And the only thing will give you state house now the unity and the resolve of the people of Sierra Leone by the unity with the APC party will show. So internally, I think say the party they try, but wherever there are challenges, someone will find a way out for resolve them. As we speak, we before don't go into a lower level elections. But again, because we're a democratic party, we've been get for gazette, we rules, electoral rules and regulations where they govern the process. Again, this process also through the PPRC, it called for people for petition, for challenging the rules then people that don't petition. So because we get series of petition, series of responses the way the party they response. Now that don't hold we for to make re-election or proceeded. Until the party responds to those petitions, PPIC call the parties involved, find a way how to have them resolved, and then we'll go into election. And I believe say when we do go into those elections, the party this time around, we want to make sure say when we elect people where we genuinely believe say then go able to give you what you want. Because as I said earlier on, it's one thing being elected internally, but it's also another thing for make you able for win state house for the party. And I believe say that's where we want. If we all think the same way, say now state house will be with focus, then it is also incumbent upon every one of us from what we can together for ensure say status be the focus.
And I'm sure you will agree that it's easier said than done. I have no doubt about that. I want to ask you a few questions on that, but before I segue into then questions in the issue here is what you just articulate again earlier. It goes speak to the fact say the party is not ready, even though you are saying that of course it's a necessity for put all them things they are together before you they move forward. Yeah. But the idea is there is a calendar, an election calendar period where you for they do certain things then within certain period of time because that shows or exhibit, preparation, if you will like. And if something is lagging behind, and in this case, not only one, and others they overlapping to other ones, then that definitely is a problem, isn't it, Mr. Bangura?
So I'm not going for agree with you. Say the party is not ready, Prince. The party is ready. The challenges that we're having right now are certain people that we think say their interests have not been met, or the party not able to give them what they want. And it's obvious in a democratic settings that at some point, not to everybody will be happy with certain stance where the institution will take. And that's where comes the beauty of democracy, that they have been given the opportunity to challenge those decisions. And it's the beauty of democracy, isn't it? The party is ready, But because then get for listening to them people there, who by the way, they are legitimate members of our party, regardless of how we see them. The fact that say somebody is a card carrying member and we don't meet in subscription and follow the party rules and regulations, they should be heard. And that is exactly what the party is doing. Listening to them, responding to those concerns, and then eventually we will come together. As I say, no matter what the challenges are, the interest of the party is bigger than my personal interest. I could be having 1,000 of more interests where I want to make the party, look into. It's democracy, isn't it? I've got my own interest, and so does the other person. So until we're able to realize it, no one person's interest should be bigger than that of the collective interest of the people, which is the party. Then we are challenged. So it's a challenge, but I believe we will overcome.
Until we realize, I'm paraphrasing you now, until we realize no one person is bigger than the party, which is quite true. But certainly, two things can be true at the same time. In this case, I'm not thinking people are expressing it as such, but they are holding the party to ransom. And this is disadvantaging the party, Mr. Bangura. And I sure say, this is what you've been speaking to anyway. So this is quite true. But in terms of party unity, the power of unity in a party, which you are advocating for, there definitely needs to be a formula, not just speaking it, but what is the party doing to attract, people with dissident views, those that would then way aggrieve and what have you. And I see a document quite recently, don't know how true it is, I need to investigate that dissident voices will be either expelled or suspended. Like I say again, I don't know how true that is, but not everybody can be. You can bring everybody over to the other side. Even in a revolution, some people will have to be left on the other side, and maybe later on they can have a change of mind. The question, Mr. Bangura, is what is the party doing in a practical way for unite, your people, and we aggrieve, we get dissenting views?
So, one of the very first thing that you want to do in conflict management and resolution is
That's
to
your
give
area,
people
and that's why I posed this to you, because you got past experience in this.
Is an opportunity to give people what you call it the benefits of the doubt, that they should be heard. They should be heard, regardless of how you feel about them. Someone has got to listen to them. Until you listen to them, you're not going able to know how you for address their concerns. And this is why with the new 2022 APC constitution, where by the way, with 1995 a party constitution not being get, now that of internal redress mechanisms, where this constitution now get, it now gives us the opportunity as members of this party for make we raise whatever you call it dissenting views, whatever concerns that you have internally that they should be heard before you can do any other thing outside of the structures of the party. So I want to believe, say, whatever concern, whoever they may be, that they must have used that internal mechanism for make them be heard, And until then, you can't go outside for a redress without using those internal mechanisms. Because if you do so, the constitution of our party is also the law of the land. We govern the operations and the structures of our party. So you need to have made use of that internally. So if you not do that one day, you decide to where you go outside first for go first because you know one come internal, then you not even show respect to an institution where you say you believe in. So I will say, no matter what challenges there is, let us have them addressed internally first, and then you will have a leg to stand on to say, I have given the party much room, much avenue for my concerns to be addressed, but they have failed to listen to my concerns. So for which I go seek a secondary opinion. Then you can go out now. But the primary redress mechanism should be done internally. And that's, I believe, saying that that's a party they try to do, and they give every other person an opportunity. And I will say to the current leadership of the party that may we show that flexibility. It does not matter how we feel or how hot it may be. It's a party issue. Let's have them addressed internally first, because tomorrow we'll be quoted.
Yes, I'm not sure how many people will disagree with what you just say, and this is the essence of preaching. Your kind of unity. Stop washing dirty linen. Publicly, and address issues internally before you go out. So I guess a lot of people will resonate with this message. Quite an important side to this conversation that we're having. Mr. Bangura, there's also something we refer to as deception in salon, politics. And therefore, I want to look at how it can affect, some other variables. In this particular case, just focus on your party. But would you agree that there's a lot of deception in politics?
I think it's not just with our politics. Politics generally or globally is deceptive. It's a fact. It is deceptive.
I do agree, and I like the way you address them. So yes, it's got a global,
The question is, to what extent can that deception go to the destruction of the general good? I think that's where you're coming from.
So yes, exactly, and I want to accept that premise. Yes, correct.
Yeah. So there's deception generally. Let's have that, because it's a game of interest. And the fact that say somebody, absolutely, you and somebody when they compete on certain interests, it's just possible that somebody can use deception for me to get what you want. For me, but the question there again, like I said, how far can you go to be deceptive to a point, and then your deception become destructive to what you use yourself the type of fight for? And that is where I believe say the interest we for able for make we align in a way that Adams, I get my own interest, but so does my competitor, so does my opponent. Also, we go able to get the commonalities. Also, we go able to agree on say, on this point, this is the point of convergence. Now, yeah, we go able for meet for make we resolve that it becomes a win-win. Because what I don't want, say I'm going for an office, is for me to have used deception. I get what I want. You get what you want, then you're not able to get you're not able for govern, put it that way. Because you don't do something where you don't ostracize certain people whose support you would have counted on for make you succeed. And that day, mostly we can get them wrong, not the side of Africa politics. Then part here, you see people, internal dissent, then Kindede, you go disagree with your leader here and there respectfully, but that does not mean you no one for support your leader for make you win. It's only that you hold a view to certain aspects of that conversation or whatever is being talked about. But it does not mean you should be ostracized for that. So again, that they mostly we problem and kick out from the African setting. We are so opposed to contrary views. And every time there's a contrary view, you think that, oh, like me, want for my succeed, or you need to toe the line. No, it's only that maybe they see something completely different from how every other person this year. And this is where most times we don't mistake most of the leaders in Africa. Even when they're doing something wrong, like President Madabio is now, you still see people who they tell and say, but what they do so now the right thing will continue. Because for them, it makes them feel empowered that they're able to advise the path for continue to do the wrong thing. But tomorrow, when he would have left that seat, and then he can't sit down and see how them people there don't turn far yesterday, we would say, well, brother will tell him, he just thinks he was so full of himself because of his power. But not knowing that they were the very people who were giving him the wrong advice. But when you get voice of reasoning within that circle, we say, but I will not just jump. The question is where we jump and also how they land and how we go land. Once you begin forget them views then and then you're ready to help your leader to succeed. But sometimes when you bring that concept to it becomes a problem. Even I accept that your office. It's not, I suppose it's not your professional prince. When you go to management meeting, not to everything more way, because now you want to go put you just go for them and go into that. Now, otherwise, that is what is known as collective responsibility. What was your opposing views? What was your suggestion at management level? You did not. You just go with the flow. So when things go bad and all low.
Absolutely. Yes. And Fambule, we talked to Mr. Adams Bangura, a stakeholder in Sierra Leonean politics. Of course, we have a conversation with inside the United Kingdom. And a few things then for cover, but I want to live up to the expectations or agreements we have that the interview will last between 45 minutes and an hour. And we get roughly about 15, let's say 20 more minutes for wrap up. A lot of things they want for ask. So we continue with the cut, yeah, like briefly the importance of historical awareness in with politics, because whichever way, the politics of the past informs the politics of the present, even though they aspire for change. But we get to understand what's happening today, so we don't repeat those mistakes. How much of this you think largely get for play with the current politics in terms of we pass? Are we making a move into the future, or are we still stuck? Maybe not altogether, but maybe partly.
I would say partly, because for the most part, in an African set, our politics is not forward-looking. We always get for the go back, and every time you go back, you hold on to certain aspects of progression where you further move fast. We have to be forward-looking. In a sense, you watch politics as how it happen. Geopolitically, a lot of those old parties or parties that way they don't exist for the last 50, 60 years, that they try for don't move on with the times. And until you move on with the times, then you have a problem for catch up with the millennials. And the only way the millennials can be attracted to politics, now when you move with the time, and then you come to outside and they now. When you move to outside and they now, then you make politics become attractive for them for joining.
But the question, Adams, are we?
We again, we're trying. We are
Okay.
trying. I would say that to you. We are trying. Many years ago, we party. We've been getting the constitution where being say you get for consult, you get for do this, you get for do that. Where at the time that it was written in the wisdoms of the one that would be right, it was the right thing would then be needed for do that particular time. Because those were the days where it been difficult to get people who will come out to provide for certain offices. So they had to consult. And with the advent of time and the challenges that we one or two things imposed, now you don't say we get a more modern constitution. Is it perfect? No, it is not perfect. It does have its own challenges. But as it go with time, now so we pick up areas there where we will get for need from us say, okay, these areas that we're able to put up the areas there for a review. So I think with the move gradually, don't a snail pace with the move, but at least we make progress.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And family, just for reminder, immediately after this program, Imran Toure, commonly known as Imran T, will be having a show right after this program, I believe titled The Difference Between a Politician and a Leader. So I'll not forget for tuning in, but of course we will go off this program altogether, and a new program they will come on. So we will really appreciate you for Bangura. Mr. Bangura, obviously, at some point in the program, I believe from the very beginning, or all the way they talk about is aspiring for change. Change from the old to the new, change from the good to the better, good, better, best. I hope I get the superlative and how you call them, correctly, because the brain on the old now. But the idea is we talk about progression, for go forward and make a better society. But there are many truths and lies within the change where they confuse with people in itself. What word of advice will you give in that regard? Where would they aspire for change? But then you get somebody to tell you this way not correct, another person they tell you that they all within the same political realm, just for gain something out of it, which is not really truthful. What would you advise, Mr. Adams?
So, in terms of change, if I can simply put, change comes from within. You get the conviction first of what you want before you will believe in that change. If you don't get the conviction, no matter what is proposed in front of you, you will never believe in it because the conviction is not there. So, it's incremental by itself. We're moving towards that. All I can say is that in the process of yearning for change incrementally, as I said earlier, let us be forward looking. let us be open-minded and be more encouraging to what is being proposed, rather than just for kick it down the can for say in your interest. It may not be in your interest today, but it will be in a not too distant future. So I believe it's an incremental process. It's the most difficult thing for a team, even within a work setting. Every time you hear about a change, well, somebody if say they can lose job because they're going to find it extremely difficult how for cope, how for embrace this new process. It's a difficult thing. And I say this because I remember very recently we bring some consultants in Canada now we unit, for can do an overall evaluation and bring certain changes and all that. The next thing you begin to get your staff to the country, you say, are we going to be downsized? Are we going to lose our jobs? Are we going to be posted elsewhere? Because they find it hard to believe, because it's the word change. It comes with the word change. Even when they say no, they can't help we for make we improve, so we're able to do things better than we are. So it's the same thing. When you propose a change within the political settings, certain people then go feel threatened, say that I don't want to. Then we can get rid of so, and it becomes a challenge. But until the one way they propose, the one that we will get for affect everybody sit down on the table there and say, no, we are not doing it to get rid of anyone, but we're doing it to better our party. We're doing it to better Sierra Leone, so we can be done. We get for prepared. We get for prepared right ahead of time.
Yeah.
It's preparation. If we're not prepared, but we'll go again into the next set of election. Then we go thief and back now we are. And I say this, and I say this, and I keep saying this to people. Now democracy we did. Then go and thief election that we earn. Then the next thing, they will continue to be there because they would have been announced as victors. But the question is, how we go ensure say what don't be yesterday will not repeat them. We get for be prepared. We have to be better prepared.
Which is true, but the word itself or the phrase itself, be better prepared, it invoke a lot of or involve a lot of other things, that particularly and get for due. And which leads me, just briefly, if you can address this on the same issue of change, because but it's when you effect action, just like you say, an evaluation process within a setting, and then people then understand, they are well informed, so then develop confidence. Say, this is not what is going to happen to us. So have we, Mr. Adams, identified the problems then where we can our country? Because that's what you are articulating. And when I say identify, we've identified it, be it you're a civil society, you're an opposition party, but we know what the issues are. And those issues, we have correctly direct them to the people or keep the people informed through workshops or other means, so that no one is ready for take a decision. At least there's some degree of confidence in them, because this will consider for be the first step of change. Question is, Mr. Adams, have we communicated? Have we first of all understood? Because you may, and you appear definitely that you do understand the problems, because of course you just adumbrate them, Gigi Snow. Have the others, and if you get people like you in many folds, this issue, they don't communicate unto the people, for letting people understand the problem and now for effect the change that we all sort of desire from the old to the new.
So again, if anybody tell you say we're not able to identify what's the problems, then I will tell you say they're not being honest. We know what the problems are. We know what the issues are. I think the whole problem that we are facing, have we been intentional? Have we been intentional as to resolving those issues? I think that's where the problem is. We have not been intentional. And as much as we know what's in the problems, the intentions is not there, because certain people then say, if we're intentional about implementing these changes, we will get for loss certain aspects of we grip. So as a result, we push back, and once you keep pushing back, it is very difficult to make you get the desired results. So we know what the issues are. They've been identified since time immemorial, but the question is, we have not been intentional. because other people then think say it will affect their own personal interest. And that is where the problem is.
Okay. Um, Again, family, we are in conversation with Mr. Adams Bangura, and I've got so much to ask the brother. He's so well informed, and there was so much to ask, but unfortunately, we're running out of time. So I will just try to push as many questions, here or issues them to Ram and see how he responds. Mr. Bangura, I want to talk about the legacy of leadership, and this brings into the limelight the former leader, Ernest Bai Koroma, of your party. Um, um, Obviously, you felt that the APC was cheated out of the election, so Dr. Samora should have been in State House as we speak instead of the other. But there are many blames, or people are trading blame games, on social media and just all over the place. And a lot of people are confused as to what is what, who is who, and etc. etc. My question to you directly, and if you can just answer this quickly, is where are you with the EBK leadership? Do you, I'm sure, say you resonated with him at some point. I don't know whether you still do so now or you're part of the critical brigade as to how issues were handled by EBK. Where are you with EBK?
So one of the very first way Anis Koroma been doing, and it takes an exceptional leader for him to have done that, was the fact that he came out and hold his hand up and said, me not the leader, I have led this party for X amount of years. Whatever it is that you're thrown at me in terms of blame, I take full responsibility, and I am sorry that people then think say, I could have done certain things, but I didn't do it their ways. I acted in good faith at the time. It takes an exceptional leader for do that. So that for me is a mark of respect. Anes has done very well. Was he perfect? No, he wasn't perfect. That does not mean say in the human side of and not being the way he could all make certain decisions. In hindsight, 50-50. If you look back at certain decisions that we take yesterday, if I don't say how I wish I had done them differently. But again, that makes him human. Did he do well for Sierra Leone while he was in charge? Exceptionally, he did. Because then, now they tell you get all sorts of manner of opposition people. Now, man, they go to parliament, they beat drum around, they knock table, they make sure he respected. He respected their human rights. That's the honest truth. But what did we see? He respected the sanctity, by the way, the sanctity of parliament as another arm of government. What you will see inside them people there, first time in the history of our nation, that soldier man, policeman, then march go inside our parliament would go beat MP, then come out today. So you gotta have to give honest respect for the fact that say he respected those people yesterday when he was in charge. So his legacy lives on, and some of we will continue to learn from it and ensure that say we learn from some of the things that he could have done better on yesterday, but his legacy lives on. So we should respect him for that.
Thank you very much. Again, we talked about this earlier on the show, which is there's a general agreement that the economy is broken. If you don't think it's broken, then you are deluded and live in some la land. And I believe say we do have an agreement on this because, of course, we talked about them earlier. My question to you, straightforward, my dear brother, is there is an aspiration for change. So if there's an aspiration for change, and this constitutes part of the leadership way one for assume power, should power change, power dynamics? Who can fix it and how? I sure say you know we'll call him because you're too savvy enough, a politician, for say you will name names. But in your own way, how would you explain this as to fixing this broken economy and how? And not say you're not economist, by the way.
Right. So internally, first we want to look at our internal party dynamics. If there is anything I am comforted about, it's the number of young people who they aspire for lead with party. But one thing I have said, and to most of them, some of them are my friends. We've come a very long way. I have said to them, if we all say we dey go for this thing, we dey lost them. So what we want to do, more we begin for close ranks. And when we begin for close ranks, we go able for sit down and identify within ourselves who's best suited to take us to the finish line, where we all go rally behind. But if we all say we all do go simply because we have an ambition, then we have a problem. That will go for lost everything. So that brings us back to the diaspora. All of the changes, subsequent governments, including this government today in power, so they've all been catapulted by the diaspora flow, the strength of the diaspora. As in 2007, the Ernest Koroma diaspora wind of change, it came from the diaspora. UK led that fight. We brought him to power. When the SLP became 2017-18, it was also from the diaspora. So I say to my party, much as we've got all these young people who are also aspiring to lead the party, we need to forget the diaspora rights first. And that's the honest truth. We need to forget the diaspora rights. And after then, we also need to forget the set of leaders that we elect, right from ward level to constituency level to district level to regional level and also to national level, because that's the inform the choices that what we get for make we go lead we to USA we want. But we can't just go electing people simply because now Prince Kuruma are comfortable with, and then it's gonna have to be Prince Kuruma. Even when I know there are so many excesses that comes with this brother one who say you're not able for electorate or you're not able for give with that support where we all need for take the party to victory. So we have that challenge, Prince. So if you ask about the wind of change, I would say I am comforted by the number of aspirations the way young people express for take up leadership. But the question is, how far can we take those aspirations where we know we can together, more begin for close ranks and get them right?
Absolutely, and well said. At this point, I would like for ask you publicly, say, because I don't think say we were able to complete all the questions that I want to ask you, such as free and quality education, human development index way, and the drug crisis na Freetown way need a lengthy explanation. And I not just want this in passing. So I go appeal to you, say, if we can do a part 2 to this program, which I suppose say, of course, you go agree to, and also your personal ambition, your aspiration, because I understand, you're from sources that they contest for some leadership position, and the last time you were not successful, and questions as whether you've done your due diligence, how prepared are you this time? But these are all questions I want to ask you. But it will demand another show by itself. Yeah, because quickly they run out of time. And I see the shake your head, vigorously, which means that yes, you are prepared, that we can arrange for another day, which I really appreciate, and that I say from the beginning of this program. So anyway, before we end, I think we get roughly about 6 more minutes, and Famkule Imran to really come on shortly in about 2010, 2110, 2115, Imran to really come on. But in the meantime, we get a few more minutes with Adams. So therefore, I just go to names of potential flag bearers. And I know you're smart enough again. You're not going to name names and you don't articulate some part of it already. But I've been you're purposely, you're for kind of put you on the spot by just asking you a direct question and see how politically you're going to answer this, which is, who is your choice?
My choice is APC.
Whoever emerge, I can add to
So
that.
again, as I said, my choice is APC because in all of these sprints, that the party will make kind of power, and the only way the party they kind of power, I will make sure we get them right, and we need to get them right at the top. If we fail, forget them right at the beginning. So I will want to say before we go first at the top, more begin forget them right first at the bottom. I mean, it's a shame that we don't run out of time because I would have loved to have delved more into that as to the kind of vision way some of we get with regards to my aspiration for lead the diaspora 6th region this time. The last time I contested na been for chairmanship na my branch when at the district UK, but this time I'm going to the diaspora 6th region because I believe there is so much more that needs to be done in terms of coordinating the affairs of our party right from the regional level. And that's where we're lacking.
Yeah. Imran, you surely come on shortly. I'll call you shortly. Give me 5 minutes. Yeah, many thanks for that. And like I say again, so obviously regional chairman in the waiting, that's from Sean Samura. Sean, we got an interview outstanding, and this has been pending for like years. You can't just kind of Adams in show and come begin put our chairman in waiting, regional chairman in waiting. You just a great question if we can answer that then and now. I'll send the invitation.
But by the way, I think it's better if you could. I mean, this is now one of the brains of we get a region today. We used to call him the global face of the diaspora. Work exceptionally well. It's a shame that people like him are not in the aim of affairs for Leadway region. But which is why some of we been there yesterday. We will appreciate an opportunity for being given that time, that chance, so we're able for capitalize on people like Sean, bring them all on board for help with region. Because I mean, we have the most formidable and powerful region, but we are challenged.
Obviously, the listing and you can see at the screen. It just gave me a ha ha ha. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've talked to Sean a few times. I haven't interviewed him. I don't remember again, but maybe he dodged the interview, but he rather put other people in forward. But this time you're going to take the shot, Sean, and I will be in touch soon. Many thanks for that, brother. I really appreciate that. And then I'll pose the final question to you, Mr. Bangura. It's obvious that USA we end, I will draw a line on the day, and when we start the next program on a different day, arranged between the two, mutually convenient, that's where we're going to start from. And you'll be given the opportunity, because Mr. Sef want to understand, and viewers, they want to understand a lot of these things in detail, so not only in passing. But the long-term vision, all of the things that we don't articulate, you sound like a kind of unifying candidate, and a kind of candidate where they listen, because you want to bring everybody on board, even in your own humble domain, because there are others, you're way above you. But quick one, and this is the final one, the flag bearer crisis, I want for column, because it has only started, Mr. Bangura. There are going to be many more names thrown into it. Even the one that way they inside, that in itself is a problem. You get the Samsung manufacturer, you get Jagaban, who is all over the place at the moment, but all of them, they aspire, and if they have a right to, and I believe they have a right to, so therefore they can contest. But doesn't this worry you, that there's going to be this pool of your players, them aspiring for this one position? Is that not going to disadvantage the All People's Congress?
And the beauty of democracy, isn't it?
But it can be a mess up. It can be a mess as well.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And genuinely, I am also concerned. I am genuinely concerned and worried about the future of our party. With all of what is going on in the event, somebody thinks that they've been cheated. Somebody thinks it deserves something where the delegates decides otherwise. How we go able to come together with this many people? The last convention we had about 26, 27 people. By the time we come on McKinney, it was very difficult for get certain people for accept for come together in a democracy, by the way. And much more now, I suppose we don't get more than 27 or more people where they show interest. Some don't come out, some don't come out yet. I worried about the future of my party. Genuinely speaking, I am. How we go get for come out of farm is in the hands of God, because we're believers. But I just want for belief, say, as of now, as it stands, the process leading to that has got to be fair and transparent. We just get for make sure, see, the process itself is the beginning is as credible as the outcome. If the beginning begin for mad with so many challenges here and there, I like that post you're not going for pick up feds for feds. It will just pick say, well, I don't get in cutlass for hold on to for feds. Even when not been get any chance, absolutely, he will find a reason to fight. So I say, more we make the process be as credible and transparent as we can. In the event we come out of that convention, we go able to be unified. Because otherwise, I genuinely worried about the future of my party.
Yes, indeed. I mean, Fambulem, what a note for end on. The brother is exceptionally brilliant, isn't he? Yeah. Love him, loathe him. Yeah. And we ended up on a good note. But waiting now the takeaway from this particular conversation is one of unity and a belief in his party and his genuine intention, for make sure that his party return to power. Because it's better for your party to be in power rather than out of power, as some may articulate. Mr. Adams Bangura, the idea that we've agreed that we will do a part 2 where I will able to ask you the questions, and they are that are drafted for him. So it's like a
we need to
two-page
do that
full of
because
questions.
we cannot articulate my vision for the diaspora.
Well,
and I
that's
believe
it.
say
And
most of my followers them want for hear that, but I get that.
Yes, I appeal to you followers them and commend them for the patience, but you will definitely be given that chance, because that's what part 2, just briefly, Usa will start from. Usa will stop, and then we go straight into your aspirations and your objective in terms of you thing where you want to do, where you try to achieve. That obviously will be given to you, and in a short time. I will send the invitation over, and then we get an arrangement as usual on a mutually convenient date and time, and then we will put them out to the public, and then we'll work on that. But it's been an absolute pleasure. I haven't had you in years. I still remember this your background though. Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, absolutely appreciate you, brother. You are marvelous. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Anytime,
you're welcome.
Whenever convenient.
And family, if you enjoy this video, whichever way, or whether you not enjoy them, una comments them are highly appreciated. I mean, if you be critical of them, this is how we learn. So feel free for be critical. And if you enjoy them, please subscribe. Please give the thumbs up. This helps the algorithm for bring people in like comrade Adams Bangura, and many others. We look forward for bring Ade Macaulay, Dr. Kaifala Mara. Of course, we've had Dr. Conte, who is always willing also for participate. We also the Chase Jagaban team, and we'll go bring a soon. But as I left una now, una not forget we come out of this program altogether, because this is absolutely exclusively an Adams Bangura program. So they come off, and Imran Toure they come on immediately with waiting at the difference between a politician and a leader. On behalf of the TNN TV media platform, I am Prince Samuel Kroma. They say goodbye for now. Thank you so much.